Hey, Anthony, do you like my new shirt?
Sure, man. It's cool. Could have been better.
What was that?
I said it could have been better.
You want to fight about
Yeah, I do. Let's go, chump. Hold on a second.
it?
We don't need to fight.
We don't.
All you need to do is go to 86.com and choose from one of their many designs. Franchises range from Skullgirls to Street Fighter and even BlazBlue. And if you check out 86 through this Twitch channel, use 86.com /AFF equals 4 to let them know that Mission Star Podcast sent you. Be ready. And I'm going to go first on this one. So, and look at that. Look at that. Professional streamer at large. I'm going to do this live on this video. Woo! Okay, well, the video has now been resized and actually fits the border right now. All right, so, and I'm kind of out of, there you go. Okay. Yes, professionalism. All right, so, yeah, I will start off. As you can see, our new format. I am in the bottom, and the other two are above me. And I am going to talk about my topic for this week's podcast is the E3 Expo leaks that happened not too long ago. I want to say it was on the 8th, it was reported. This is reported off of Kotaku.com. E3 Expo leaks the personal information of over 2,000 journalists. This was updated. A spreadsheet containing the contact information and personal addresses of over 2,000 game journalists, editors, and other content creators was recently found to have been published and publicly accessible on the website of the E3 Expo. The Entertainment Software Association, the organization that runs E3, has since removed the link to the file, as well as the file itself, but the information has continued to be disseminated online in various gaming forums. While many of the people listed in the documents provided their work addresses and phone numbers when they registered for E3, many others, especially freelance content creators, seem to use their home addresses and personal cell phones, which have now been publicized. This leak makes it possible for bad actors to misuse this information to harass journalists. Two people who say the private information appeared in the leak informed Kotaku that they already recently received crank phone calls since the list was publicized. Basically, the ESA fucked up hard. There were a list of content creators, journalists, and in some cases, even some publishers. Home information or their information, content information, was leaked on the internet. And especially in this industry, especially with how gamers, not all, but that some will be an asshole and they will lash out against game journalists or publishers or anybody for that nature. Has the ESA have fucked up to the point where not only was this leaked out, but apparently it's in the story actually I have right here. Apparently, this was found a year ago. Somebody told them about it, and they've done nothing to hide it. and there's definitely been stories about the ESA and how they organized E3 and how they have kind of been run around with their head cut off when it comes to the organization as a whole. So and this kind of gave in the talk to a lot of people. It's like, with this such a huge fuck up, like, would this affect E3 for next year? Like, does this matter? Like, is people still going to come for E3? I mean, the publishers and the game companies.
It's going to absolutely affect E3 next year. Unless there's a way that they can prove to the media or to any publisher, or not publisher, well, I mean, publisher, yeah, just anybody who had their shit leaked, which was an immense amount of people, unless they can prove that information is actually safe, Like, it's going to be weird.
It is. It is.
Like, it's not going to affect E3 to the point where we're not going to get game announcements and shit like that.
Right.
But as for how we get our news from E3, that's going to be weird.
I think
I don't think it's going to affect how we get our news from E3 at all, because most of the people that give us our news in the normal way, they register through a company, so the company's information, if they're doing it how they should be registering it, the company information is going to be leaked. Whoop-de-fucking-do. You know where their headquarters are.
This wasn't just.
Oh no, but I'm saying like for the reporting,
okay.
From the main normal reporters, the guys we see from GameSpot and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be business as usual because they're probably registering from as the GameSpot HQ location. Because every time I've ever looked to register for anything press, it gives me the option to register whatever fucking address I want to have that thing sent to.
Yeah,
so if I wanted to,
that's true.
I could have sent it to your address, and you could just give me the pass.
That's very true. Very true.
Well, the reason Alex, I say that it's weird or it's going to be weird is because, a lot of people that have come out publicly and said that their stuff was leaked or whatever, the ones who have said that their information went out to people who want to harm them or had sent them things that were, I don't know. Those people that said things, there was a lot of them. And my thought process is like, if even half of them don't agree to sign up with that company or whatever, like, are they going to go the route that you said? Are they going to go and just say fuck E3 entirely and not go? And I don't think it's going to affect how we get our news. I just think it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a little weird. I think it was Greg Miller said it, but he was just like, it's going to have an effect on a very small portion of E3. And it's not going to be a situation where suddenly you don't get E3. That's not what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think the main people that are going to be affected from this are random people going, just random Twitch bloggers, just people who are doing their own thing there, or just regular attendees. But maybe very small publications might, as far as press goes. As far as anybody that's large in the press, I don't know. I haven't looked into it. I don't know who's saying that their stuff got leaked. I would like to know what the fuck they're doing putting their personal shit in the registration to begin with. Like the first and last name. Okay, yeah, the first and last name is going to be there anyways. We can find your first and last name just by looking at the fucking company. 99% of the time, your first and last name are there. What are you doing putting your home address down? Yeah. What are you doing putting a personal email address down instead of a work email address? Maybe they got your phone. Okay, maybe they got your cell phone. Change your fucking number. Whatever. It's an inconvenience. I just don't think that the people who are being affected, like the high end, like the top people that are saying they're being affected, should have been affected if they had done their due diligence with what the internet is.
As someone, not me personally, talk to you, Alex. As someone who has worked or continued to do work in the game industry, what do you think game companies would say when they look at this and saw a massive leak of personal information from E3? Do they look at that and say, you give a pause for coming next year? Or do they look at that and say, we're still coming, but we're just being very cautious of what we put out?
That's the second one.
I don't think it affects them whatsoever, honestly. Sony Online Entertainment had that giant fucking breach. So Sony Computer Entertainment of America has had giant breaches. Remember when the PlayStation Network got breached and with 11 million people fucking got exposed? Mm-hmm. This shit happens. They're aware of it. This is why they hire security specialists. This is why they get outside vendors to come in and do penetration testing. Yeah, hey, you know what? They didn't do the best job that they should have done, and there was something open, and they got breached. It happens everywhere. Literally every company is at risk. And Alex, you're not wrong, but at the same time, I don't necessarily agree with this passe. Well, it happens all the time, no biggie, because it's not a no biggie. It is a biggie. It's a big deal to the people who got leaked. So I'm not saying. I'm just saying they're going to look at it and be like, well, that's shitty. It shouldn't have happened, but it does happen. Everybody that deals with anything to do with the internet understands. Hell, my company understands it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And then you just do damage control.
Sure, and every company should have that motto of it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, and then constantly be prepared for that when. And usually, because of that mantra, you're prepared. You're entirely prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree with Alex that it's not really going to affect that much. It's if even if we still hear about it next year, which I even doubt that much, like. Most people will probably have forgotten about it and move on and not worry about it. And as far as I know, and I haven't heard anything, but nobody had anything actually bad happen other than just threats.
Yeah.
Which threats are going to happen too. I mean, there's other ways that their information could have been breached. Yes, maybe the breach can be linked directly to the E3 breach, but honestly, if you have a credit card number, and I'm talking to everybody out there, if you have a credit card, just assume somebody on the internet also has your credit card number. 90% of all fucking credit cards are compromised.
Oh, the higher profile you are, the more likely.
Well, the more likely it's to happen too. Yep.
Yeah, and to kind of round it all out, like in terms of like what I personally think, and at first it was like, fucking, oh man, this is not great for a lot of people, and it still is.
It's still not.
Yeah, and at the same time, like when it comes to E3, like it's too big. Like it's too big of a thing. It is definitely a mainstream kind of every convergence on this one huge event that happens every year.
I'll tell you this much, Anthony. Mm-hmm. On that note, on what you're saying right now, if Comic-Con suddenly had a massive breach and anybody who bought a ticket through that website had their credit card information, their private information leaked somehow, Comic-Con will still sell it the next year.
Yeah, agreed. Like it kind of feels like when it comes to the game industry at times, like if somebody quits or gets fired, there's somebody else that is ready and willing to go at a moment's notice.
And there's the other angle, Anthony, that you have to keep in mind too, that if for some reason a person goes to one of these people's houses, like they get the address and they go there and they rob them or they do something, there are insurance things that, like, I don't want to say insurance companies or whatever, but 9 times out of 10, these people probably have some kind of insurance that would prevent them from being completely fucked over by any kind of asshole that wants to act upon this information. Then there's also the idea that, like, if they're injured or hurt somehow, that the cops nowadays have a very, very easy way to track people down. So it would not behoove anybody to act upon any information that they have.
Outside of the random threats that have happened, really any further than that, you're just asking for trouble.
Yeah, so it's from my perspective, it sucks. It really sucks. It's more of a hassle for the people involved than anything else. And the ESA has to kind of prove to these people that their information won't be linked again.
Yeah.
That's really about it.
Yeah, and that's the big thing with them. It's like, and again, E3 is such a huge thing. Like, even if, when this happened, like, there's going to be still a ton of people coming, regardless. Even if, say, like, the major outlets don't go, get a ton of other people to come anyways.
There's no way the major outlets won't go. Like, right. Honestly...
I mean, I'm just being hypothetical.
There's no way. No, I mean, even hypothetically, there's no way the major outlets don't at least have somebody there.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like,
one person for the conferences.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually completely agree. Like, let's say, for example, let's throw out a hypothetical here. The people who went this year and had their shit exposed and leaked say, I'm not going next year. You're not putting my personal information on that website. Guess what IGN, GameSpot, Kotaku, Polygon do?
Literally get anybody else.
Yeah.
Literally anybody else. Anybody that works at those companies will go in a heartbeat.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially because if you're not one of their main reporters and you get to go report at E3, guess what? You're probably now a main reporter.
Yeah.
Yeah, you take that opportunity. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it fucking sucks. There's nobody on this planet who would say that it doesn't suck, but yeah, it's not as big of a deal as I think A, people are making it out to be, or B, as big of a deal that that it'll affect E3. I don't think that's a
yeah, I don't think it's going to actually put a damper on E3 in any way, shape, or form. I think people will go just like they normally would.
And I think that's what I was meaning by Alex about it being weird, is that we might see new reporters.
Yeah.
Entirely new people.
Yeah,
Which would be kind of nice, let's be honest.